Hello there and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about some lists that could would either require core box plus one box or just picking two boxes up in order to focus on helping new players kind of get started with Star Wars Shatterpoint. This is post update, so after May 2025, that big update. This is actually in August, so we've got some boxes that are also coming out this month, so I'll mention those as well. But of course, coming straight out of the core box, we have a Mandalorian team that we just played right out of the core box. Ahsoka got an update in the May update, so that is a decent starting point. But if you want to expand on that, we have the armor box, which is another full Mandalorian box, and her armor's identity definitely helps the Mandalorians throughout the long and late game. So really good box to get if you are wanting to play Mandalorians competitively, and then you can kind of season to taste the other squads, the other squad to go with them. So Ahsoka has a revenge trigger, so she's gonna move around and hit people back for wounding her friends. Bo has steadfast and protection bubble, so she's gonna help your Mandalorian stay on points. The Clan Krees are a little more ranged focus and shoving and pinning, while the Super Commandos are a little more melee focused and damage focused. Gar Saxon being also more of a sniper, and then Maul being kind of a scalpel. He moves around, very mobile, can pull people around, and so you can kind of mix those up. And some people will even Paz can be a little bit difficult to play. So if you're a newer player and you're finding that he's being difficult to position, the Clan Krees, both Bo-Katan and Clan Krees Mandalorians, they actually got their era updated, so they are all the way through to New Republic era. So you can actually swap Paz out for Bo if you wish, and then you would just have to play Gar Saxon in your other squad. But just that one box gives you a lot of toys to play with to figure out what your favorite Mandalorian list is there. Then, of course, there's the Mandalorian, but he comes in a box without any other Mandalorians. But he's also, as you expand, good to pick up for your Mandalorian team. Then moving on to Separatists, we of course have Asajj Ventress, Kalani, and the B1s in the core box. Asajj also got an update in the May 2025 update. And when it comes to squad packs, I think that General Grievous's box is generally kind of the most solid one at the moment. Grievous is strong, very glass cannony, another mobile primary, and he's going to drag battle droids along with him to do follow-up attacks. Kraken, solid secondary, and B2's flexible, solid supports. We're also about to get the Rift Tamsin box, and so I think some people trying things out have paired that squad with Grievous's squad, and enjoying that for a very aggressive aggressive list that is going to be moving all over the board, Rift jumping around, following up people's attacks and doing more attacks and all that. So I think current Separatist players are leaning a bit into Grievous and Rift Tamsin boxes when it comes to boxes as is. And then of course the Count Dooku box is another one that I think Count Dooku is very solid, but maybe not the easiest to pilot as a new player, but brings a lot of extra force, which helps out your team and has a bit of a revenge trigger as well. And then the Magna Guards, they did get a slight nerf, but they're melee only, which can be tricky, but otherwise a fairly decent support there. And then Django being a very flexible primary and mobile primary, or secondary, sorry. Moving on to Republic, Anakin, Rex, and the 501st come in the core box. 501st and Anakin both got big updates as well, buffs in the update, and a lot of people currently are pairing Anakin with Ki-Adi-Mundi. He adds mobility, gives you a dash, gives a Jedi a dash when you wound something. Also gives you force discounts if the Jedi are close to any wounded allies. So these are all things that really help Anakin out. He brings along Shakti as a secondary and Padawan learners as the supports. And so if you just want to get one box to pair with your Anakin squad, I would recommend Ki-Adi-Mundi for sure. And then as you expand from there, people would often swap out the Padawans for the ARF troopers, which are another 3-cost support that come with Mace's box. And usually in that case, people put them in the squad with Anakin so that they now have a supporting fire dash. So after he attacks, they can give him a dash, which helps him out. And then also some people prefer to have Padawan Ahsoka in place of Rex. That's a bit of a seasoned taste, a little more Jedi synergy, but Rex is very, very solid as well. But Padawan Ahsoka comes with the Plo box. Another flavor of Republic is to pair Mace Windu with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So if you're just picking up 2 boxes, as well as the core, then a lot of people, so Mace got a point update, so he's now 7 squad points instead of 6. The rest of his box only adds up to 6, being pawns and the ARF troopers. So when you're only picking up 2 boxes, this does make the points a little awkward, but even kind of more competitive lists that people have come up with, people are liking to have pawns and the 2/12 together, as is for deployments, allows them to be able to just dash and take a focus action instead of needing a move action in order to get to the midline. So that's a good combination there. Rex, I pretty much staple to Obi-Wan Kenobi. He really leans into the hunker synergy that Kenobi has. And then the support, there's a lot of options there. If you're just grabbing the 2 boxes, probably ARFs. Just their supporting fire dash is very, very solid. Also having a shove on 2, just like the 2/12. Unlike the 501st, which have a shove on 3. This list is more control and defense rather than being aggressive and trying to really wound stuff. So 501st have more damage earlier in their tree, but yeah, ARFs have an earlier shove. But as you expand, of course, there are Republic Commandos, Echo and Tech. Those are 4-point cost clone supports that have basically defensive maneuver, which gives them a hunker, as well as these 2 sets of supports, and they also lean into the Kenobi synergy, so kind of season to taste there. Or simply, again, pick up Plo's box for Padawan Ahsoka, and then you can keep the ARFs under Mace and 2/12 with Kenobi. If you want to go full clone all the time, then we have the Bad Batch box, along with the Delta Squad box, which is just about to come out. The whole thing has clone trooper synergies, and they're obviously all clone troopers, so they can work together quite well. Also, in the Bad Batch box, you get a secondary, which is Crosshair, another solid sniper character, and so that gives you some flexibility moving forward to swap different secondaries around. But this is definitely a solid squad you could start with if you're wanting to get all clone troopers on the table. When it comes to the Empire, I would say probably the most solid start to finish box is the Moff Gideon box. It comes with Gideon, Death Trooper Escort, and Dark Troopers, and this squad can play with pretty much anybody. You can pair them with any other solid box, Empire box, and it's gonna go quite well. Darth Vader, of course, who doesn't want to play Darth Vader? His box also comes with Stormtrooper Sergeant, which definitely helps out a lot of these 7-point primaries, and the Stormtroopers, I'll admit, are usually the first thing that people kind of replace when it comes to his squad. But luckily, we have 2 other boxes that come with 2 sets of supports. So it gives you lots of options to be able to swap those Stormtroopers out. One box that got a full update in that May update is the Inquisitor box. So Grand Inquisitor, Reva, or Third Sister, and Fourth Sister, they all got buffs in the update. And the Inquisitor box also comes with Fifth Brother as another support. So you could put the Inquisitor box with Vader, swap out, so put Fifth in place of Stormtroopers, and have a solid team there. Another box that comes with 2 sets of supports is the Director Krennic box. He's bringing 9 squad points, a 5-point secondary with Death Trooper Specialist, Death Troopers who also have that supporting fire dash like the ARFs, and also bringing Shore Troopers, which are a little more sticky on points. They bring protection and steadfast if they are on an active objective. So I've seen people pair Krennic's box with Vader's as well, swapping out those Stormtroopers for Shore Troopers. But my preferred pairing right now is this team as shown: Grand Inquisitor, Third Sister, Fourth Sister, with Krennic, Death Trooper Specialist, and Death Troopers. So this is a 2-box combo, though I will admit that Krennic is definitely a primary that takes a decent amount of reps in order to kind of get a handle on and be doing kind of be having consistent with success with. So I'm not sure that I recommend him necessarily to new players, but it is definitely a very solid box and does provide two sets of solid supports that can add some flexibility to your Empire roster. Then there's the item box, which if you like to throw a bunch of dice and wound stuff, then this is the box for you. Again, it can pair with Gideon's box, just the two boxes as is, or some will do Vader's box again, swapping out those stormtroopers for something else like dark troopers, or whichever support basically you end up enjoying most. So there's some solid pairings there. Now moving on to Rebels. So until recently, Rebels were suffering a bit from having a lot of Lukes, Hans, Leia's, Lando's, Chewie's, and R2-D2's. And of course you can't have two of the same name in a team, not even in a premier list. So this was making two box pairings quite difficult. With Rebels, you needed kind of a bunch of boxes in order to make kind of one solid list. But as of, well, tomorrow as we're recording, August 8th, Jyn Erso's box is about to come out, and so that pairs quite nicely with Cassian's box, giving you the full Rogue One crew, and that is a very solid two-box starting point for Rebels. Now, if you want to move on from that, the Pathfinders could be Rebel Commandos, which come from Han's box, arguably one of the best Rebel supports. So that's a quick swap if you end up expanding your roster. And then I'll also point out Princess Leia's box. They're also all spies, and they can pair well with either of these boxes, really. Now, an earlier two-box pairing that we got, kind of the earliest set of Rebels, was the Spectres. And there are two Spectre boxes, Kanan and Hera. And they go together well, of course, as they should. However, Hera is another primary that takes a few reps to kind of figure out and have success with. So that's where I've kind of put them last, because I'm not sure that I would necessarily recommend this to the newest of players, because I don't want you getting discouraged. But if you are interested in Spectres, maybe after a few games, you could pick them up, throw them on the table, see what you like. The Ezra is a tiebreaker, so that kind of changes the math on things, but both of the supports are single model supports, so that is something, a bit of a weakness of this list. So again, Rebel Commandos, people tend to swap out there, and yeah, Agent Callus comes with Thrawn's box, and so he's another potential swap for the secondaries. But if you just want to pick up 2 boxes, you can definitely pick up the 2 Spectre boxes, and they will go together. So that is my rundown on kind of current 2-box lists that you can just pick up as a new player and have some fun with, as well as hopefully some ways that you can expand from there if you once you figure out kind of which faction you're enjoying playing, and in order to have some flexible list building moving forward. So I hope this this helps you navigate the I don't know, 40, almost 50 different squads and squad packs that are out for the game in order to dip your toe into Shatterpoint and take your first steps. Thank you for watching, and look out for more.